Once in a millennia, there is a treasure so incredible, so sought after and valuable that it becomes timeless. People can spend their whole lives searching, but never find such a treasure. That treasure is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse.
Shantae and the Pirate's Curse.
Originally released on October 23, 2014, Pirate's Curse was originally released on the Nintendo 3DS. However, now there are ports for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and even for PC via Steam, priced at a very modest $20, I might add. So you're probably asking, but Jay, isn't this just another 2D platformer, just like the rest? What makes this game so special? Well, never you worry, my friend, because that's exactly what I'm here to tell you. Pirate's Curse is an absolute masterpiece in modern times, and I'm going to show you that if you're a fan of Super NES era 2D platformers, this game is essentially the result of if you could have made the perfect Super NES platformer with the development knowledge of modern times. It's a modern classic, so to speak. But before we can get into why the Pirate's Curse is so great, we need to cover the story of the Shantae series, as the lore runs extremely deep, and the series almost never came to exist at all. These fine folks you see on your screen here are Matt and Aaron Bozon from Wayforward Games, a small independent developer whose origins began as a sheet metal company if you can believe it. Wayforward is known for developing some great early platformers such as DuckTales on the NES. Wayforward has also faced some criticism for producing what seems to be some shovelware over the years. Scorpion King Sword of Osiris. But there was some justification to the shovelware. Game companies, as it turns out, need to keep their lights on after all, and sometimes making licensed games can be the avenue to do that. Now, Matt Bozon is the creative director at Wayforward, and as early as 1994, he and his now wife, Erin Bozon, had come up with a concept for an original game. The game concept would feature a half-genie who used the power of dance to summon animals to help her on request, and used her hair to whip enemies, kinda like Willow Smith. Who could that be? Open up in there! This is the joke police! You are completely surrounded! Oh shit. The game concept changed several times over the years, with Matt and Aaron opting to change Shantae's dance ability to allow her to transform into the animals, each appearing as an anthropomorphic version of Shantae, rather than summoning them to help her. Several ideas were pitched as early as the Super NES and the PlayStation, but no publisher wanted to take the risk of an unknown IP with a female lead, stating that it was too risky and not the norm. But Matt and Aaron stuck to their guns and finally got the go-ahead from Voldy Way, the company's CEO, and publisher Capcom in the year 2002, nearly 10 years after rough concept of the game had been pitched. Another fun thing to note is the lead character's name came from a pretty funny circumstance. In the early 90s, Aaron Bozon was a summer camp counselor and had a child named Shantae who used to bob her head walking around. Being that the title character fought enemies by literally headbanging, Aaron did her the honor of naming the character after her. Imagine being that kid, grown up today, knowing an entire video game series was named after you. Pretty cool. And so, 2002 saw the release of Shantae for the Game Boy Color. They had done it. While Aaron Bozon was the concept artist, they went with box art drawn by Matt for the Half Genie's debut. And while the game was an absolute marvel for the Game Boy Color, let's just say there were some issues. For one, the Game Boy Advance had already been out for a year. That, coupled with an unknown character on old hardware, led to lackluster sales performance for Shantae. As a side note, Capcom only printed 20,000 copies, so getting a physical copy these days goes for an unholy amount of money. Despite the critical acclaim it received, Shantae did not sell well at all, and you would think that would be the end of the chapter. So began an era in Wayforward's history known as the Great Humiliation. Totally kidding, but with the first Shantae game selling like buns, a joke that is commonly placed throughout the series as an Easter egg, hey, at least they can laugh at themselves, it was hard to get a publisher to sign on for a second installment in the series. Many seasons would come to pass. Many rejections from publishers, even beta builds for another game were produced, only to face more rejection. The days became weeks, the weeks became months, and the months became years, and the future of the series looked bleaker than ever. But in 2010, something would happen that would change Wayforward's trajectory forever. In 2008 would mark the launch of Nintendo's DSiWare service, a service that allowed customers to download games via the internet, and it basically eliminated publishing costs of physical hardware, much to the benefit of the indie game scene. And just like that, Shantae had a second chance. And in 2010, Wayforward released a sequel, Shantae: Risky's Revenge, a whole 8 years after the original game was released, and this time it took off. It became the top-selling game on the platform. It's a common joke that the DSiWare was really just good for downloading Risky's Revenge, as most of the other titles on the service were very lackluster. While Risky's Revenge was a short game, it was well crafted with great visuals, music, bosses, and great gameplay mechanics and lots of laughs. Shantae had finally found her audience, and Wayforward had finally achieved financial success with one of their original titles. The game was a great follow-up to the original, continuing the story where it left off and keeping the game mechanics the same, where you transform into animals to solve the game's dungeons. Only this time they removed the annoying button-pressing dance sequences, so thank God for that. Come on. Oh, come on.
Oh my God!
So how exactly do you follow up a successful sequel like Risky's Revenge? Well, enter the Pirate's Curse. As of now, the Shantae series has 5 games in total, Pirate's Curse being the third in the series, and in my humble opinion, it's hands down the best in the series. Now to be forward, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't played the games and don't want the story spoiled, please skip ahead 1 minute. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way. The story for Pirate's Curse picks up right where Risky's Revenge left off. Shantae's nemesis, the pirate Risky Boots, had used the magic lamp to strip Shantae of her genie powers. Shantae keeps having ominous nightmares and soon learns that Risky's mentor, the Pirate Master, is gathering dark magic to return to Sequin Land to take over the country. It's now up to Shantae to find the dens of evil and destroy the source of the dark magic that give the Pirate Master the life force he needs to return. But this time, Shantae will need to work with her nemesis in order to thwart the ultimate evil. Having lost her magic, Shantae cannot transform into animals in this game, but it sets up a really awesome game mechanic where Shantae finds Risky's pirate tools and uses them to progress in her quest to save Sequin Land. Now, earlier when I said this game was a 2D platformer, I must confess that that's not the whole truth. In reality, it's more of a Metroidvania with platforming elements. Often you will use one of the new tools you obtain from exploring the dungeons to unlock new areas found in places you've already visited. And that's one of my only criticisms of this game, is it can be a little heavy on the backtracking. Now, visually, this game is just spectacular. From the environments, the backgrounds, and even the sprite art, you can see the extra care taken to really immerse the player into the world of Sequin Land. And hell, you literally go to hell in this game. So badass. Rated T for teen. We have to talk about the humor in this game. It's hilarious. From little quips thrown in there to full-on parodies of other media, such as this extremely well-done He-Man parody thrown into the middle of the game here. This game is chock full of humor, and some of it very dark, honestly. Also, Easter eggs are abundant and some are hidden very subtly. For example, the game subtly references Karnov, the fire-breathing Russian from the Data East NES game. Karnov may indeed be Shantae's father, from the implied Russian accent, the large hulking figure, and the fact that he is searching for his lost daughter, and to boot, the track that plays when you speak to him is called Family Ties. Well played, Wayforward, mixing humor along with the deep-rooted lore. It's kind of amazing. This was also the first game to feature Christina Vee as the voice of Shantae, which is pretty cool. The soundtrack for this game is nothing short of incredible, and one of the best things about this game. Legendary video game composer Jake Kaufman came back to do the score and absolutely knocked it out of the park this time with music to fit the environments perfectly. Let's have a listen to some of these awesome tracks. And that's Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. It's polished, it's crisp, and it executes on every level from the graphics to the story, the gameplay, and the music. This game has won many accolades, but I believe it learned from the best. I think this game is a product of years, if not decades, of honing a craft. Tell me this doesn't look like a really refined Super NES game. And it's a miracle it exists after all. Most game series would be finished after one commercial failure, such as the first Shantae game. But Matt and Aaron Bozon and Wayforward didn't give up. Dare I say, they found a way to progress forward? And Shantae is emblematic of the story of Wayforward. Always optimistic in the face of difficulty. Hey, after all, she can dance through the danger. And that is how Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is a masterpiece, and you need to play it. In reality, it's more of a Metroidvania with platforming elephants. What is it? Elephants gonna jump around on the platform. Cut. Hey everybody, this is Jay Tahoe. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you learned about a cool new game, and if you play the game, I hope you enjoy that too. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking the video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. I've been busy putting out less content recently because I really wanted to do a good job, editing this video and telling the story. So any feedback would be great. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. And I will be back soon, hopefully with a live stream. I want to finish Half Genie Hero. It's almost the new year, so I will probably stream again with friends and family to kind of talk about what will 2024 bring. And as always, I'm going to keep killing it at the gym. You guys already know, so expect to see more shorts of that. But I appreciate everybody's support, and I will see everybody soon. Thanks for watching.